Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. You are live. Okay. Hello there, folks. This is a live stream. I will be doing some maintenance work for my modus themes for Emacs. I just announced this 45 minutes ago, so I don't know if anybody will show up. I am nevertheless keeping the chat here open, so if there are any questions, I'm happy to respond to them. Otherwise, I will focus on the work. The idea is for me to write some tests for the modus themes. They have a lot of helper functions and a lot of user-facing functions, and I want to provide coverage for those. I don't know how long this stream will be, but maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, we will see. It depends on the flow and on the activity of the dogs. I have 4 dogs, so if they want to go out for a walk, then I will have to call it a day. Anyway, before I start here, let me enable KeyCast, and I want to try the tab bar mode that KeyCast provides so that it appears up here. Normally I put it on the mode line, but because I set my font to a larger size, maybe it is obscured there. Whereas up there, it should be on its own. We will see. For me, though, it's a question mark because it's up there and it's where I tend to have my eyes focused, so maybe it's more distracting for me. If it's not an issue, I will keep it. Otherwise, next time I will revert to doing it on the mode line. Anyway, let's come to the tests file. So there are very few tests here, and I want to fix that. So let's start from the top. Here I will start writing tests. And let's go to modus themes here. And let's go find the helper functions. Of course, I'm cold. I haven't been typing. So that will change soon. Let's see here. Okay, actually per issue here, this is gibberish because I don't know what is the link. Of course, it means GitHub, but I don't know what is the link. Let's see. Did I? So who is this? Mike Olson. So probably I have somewhere where I write the acknowledgements. 1 second. Let's fix this first. Mike Olson for commit, blah, 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 in issue here, 199. So that was per issue 198. So make it 198, but it is issues now. Issue. Is it issue or issues? Oh my goodness. Let me click on this and hope for the best. Let's see. Oh, AI code creation, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, search, provide feedback. Where is the repository? Oh, this is terrible. You cannot use this inside of Emacs. Okay, so I think it's issues. Okay, let me give it a last try. Maybe I could do the readable only mode. Okay, this worked. Okay, it's issues, and let's have it like that. Better. Let's do it like this. Actually, let's do it like this. They can see that it is 198. So let's update the docstroke. Okay, bye. Okay, let's start with this function. So I want to write a test for this. I have talked about my convention for tests before, but I will say it again just so we are on the same page. You will notice here that I prefix the function that I'm about to test with mtt and then dash. This is a shorthand, and I explain in the commentary where you can learn more about the shorthands. You come here, Control X, Control E, and you go straight to the manual. And basically, this is a prefix. You define it as a local variable. And MTT stands for modus themes test. Okay, that's the gist of it. So what I want to do here is test this function. So test that the thing, I'm still cold, as I said, the thing does what it is supposed to. Okay, so it should, we will see what it should do. It's converting a hexadecimal RGB color into an RGB color. Okay, so I know what this should be if we are talking about white and black. So this I know it off the top of my head. Let's do it like this, and this should be correct. And um, for black it should be 0, 0.0 and FFF. So this should be 0, 0, 0, 0. So these I know for sure. And maybe we should do more. So let's do pure red. Let's do pure red, pure green here, pure green, and pure blue. Let's have it like this. So pure red should be 0, 5, no, 1 here. There should be 1 here, and there should be 1 over there. First, let me test this and check. So evaluate this buffer. Did I evaluate this? Okay, ERT. And then hex to RGB here. Beautiful. So this is correct. Now I want to do the more tricky colors. So I want to do like the half values. For example, if I have here, instead of F, I have 88. Like, what is this? What does this actually produce? So it should be 0.5 and then something. 0.53333. Do I really care about those points? I don't think I need that kind of precision here. Of course, it's useful in the source code, but I don't need that kind of precision here. Of course, I could just copy it. There are a couple of comments, by the way. So hello that. 3-letter codes like FFF. Yes, good point, good point. And it should, I will test it, but it definitely should. Let's have it here. So it should be then this, and this, and this is a 0 here, and this is like this. So that should also be accepted, yes, for sure. And this now is 5333, like this. I don't like this. I would like it to round to 0.5. Which is now a bit tricky because I don't want to change the function. Like the function here does the right thing. This is what it's supposed to do. What could I do? What could I do is I want, okay, let's have the RGB. So this will produce the RGB. And no, no. Okay, let's just use what they provide there. So but it's inconvenient. If I do 80, that should be something 0. Yeah, it's still like an yeah, a huge number there. I don't want that. I would want to have, actually, would I want to have it here? Would it make sense? Would that lead to any kind of inaccuracy? Would it make sense for us here to maybe limit it to the first floating point? So actually, how would I do the floating point? I think I have to do it with format. So it would be 2f like that, and then string to number. I think this is how I would have to do it. Let me check. Because, oh, sorry, there should be a percent here, like this. Format the thing like that. Let me test. What does this return? 0.5. Huh, I'm now conflicted. Maybe I should have it like this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should have it like this. I won't, I will keep it as is, the original, but here I will do it. Let RG be rounded. Okay, so no, let's have it a little bit different. Let RGB. RGB rounded, which will be map car, and then it's the lambda, maybe, yeah, lambda of number of, let's call it float, okay, of that. And then you want to do string2 number over the format of percent dot to the f for floating, and then the float over the RGB, like that. And that should now be here, RGB rounded. I will do it a little bit differently, actually. I will define a function. So I will define a function which will be like this. It won't be like this. So it would be, okay, let's change this a little bit. Okay, let's change it. So I develop the idea as I go. So it's good. It's good to go back and forth. RGB rounded FN. Okay. So this is a function called without any arguments. And what this function does is actually takes one argument, the hex color. And what this actually does is it runs this over the hex like that. And then it does this business over here. So if I now were to do this fun call of the thing over, for example, let's do 800, this should be the same as that. Let me go to the scratch buffer and we will test it there. Here, let's remove the should, and here, actually, remove the equal. I don't need it. Remove this. This returns what? Oh no, 53. Why? Because it's 8, of course. If it's, yeah, that's fine. That's correct. That's correct. Here, this is the correct. Okay, this works. This works. Let's go back here then. So 8800, that's 0.5. And let's also do the others. So 0, 5, and then up, clumsy. 0, and then 5, and then the 88. Okay, 88 is there actually. So 88, and here it should be 88. Okay, first of all, let's test that up until this point this is correct. Error. What is it? The error should equal 53. Oh, sorry. I did the 88. I meant to do 80. Okay, so 80 and 80. Okay, so this is correct. Yes, this is correct. That's good. It should now, we don't have any error check. Does this thing do any error checking? This is in C. So let's see. Okay, I have a couple of comments. Let's see what is the comment here. Where are we? The function ought to accept 3-letter codes. Yes, you're right. I did that. And here we have like hash.88 is equal to 55. It's actually 53. Maybe I could round it, of course, but yeah, let's leave that. I'm mostly here. I want to make sure that it is around half. I don't really care about all those extra numbers there. Of course, this makes it for an inaccurate test, but it's fine. Like, okay, we know how this works. So mostly I want to make sure that the big cases are covered, and that's good enough in this specific case. Isn't there an approximate functionality? Good question. I don't know. And specifically about this, I don't know. Of course, you could do like arithmetic, like, I don't know, multiply and divide and do all that business and round it. But format gets the job done. So maybe there is a better way. I'm happy to have it, but I'm not aware of it. So yeah, this is busy. I don't like this, but in lieu of a better solution. Hey, Prod, hope you are doing well. I'm fine, thank you, and I hope the same is true for you. If not, perhaps make one. Sure, but maybe for another time, because I'm sure if you go down this path, there are all sorts of edge cases, and I wouldn't want to spend my time now on that. Are you on a spree to improve test coverage for your packages considering the past few streams? Indeed, it's something I want to do. I have been meaning to do it for a very long time. Eventually, I keep dithering. I do other things, of course. It's not like I am sitting around twiddling my thumbs. But this is an important project, especially as the packages become more widely used and maybe others will depend on them or whatever. It's more important to have tests. If it's a small project, then of course you can live without tests. Furthermore, it's important to have tests because the more packages I have, the harder it gets to maintain everything if I don't have tests. So it's good to do this sort of work for my own sake as well. And by the way, there is here a missing parenthesis, which of course is unacceptable for somebody who writes Lisp. Add a missing parenthesis to a docstring. No worries. Okay, let's see what else do we have. And the limit to accept relative and absolute. 2 decimal points is too few to represent all. Uh, yes, of course, you're right. The 255 value. You are right, and that's why in the actual function I want the whole number. But in the test here, I think having it like this is fine because I'm like, okay, we are approximating it. Like we are on track. So this sort of thing is an approximation, but it is okay. It's on the right path because then, of course, those extra points there are too small. Like they won't really change the color that you are seeing. And of course, this is a test. It's not actually going to yield any color. So there is that. I am interested though how we would get an error here. Let's see what we can do to get an error. Of course, I could should error. Let's see, should error. Um, this thingy should error if we give it. Actually, I will use list if we give it a RGB color like this. This should error, I imagine. Okay, beautiful. It's error. It should error if it is like this. And of course, that's true for every other color. Um, is there a scenario where it returns nil? I don't know. I cannot think of a scenario where it returns nil. Um, if it is an empty string, what does it do? Ah, beautiful, nil. Okay, good. If it is an empty string, is nil. I imagine the same is true if you do something like this. Okay, should not. And if you do something like this, should not. And then, of course, if you also do 4 and 5. So 3, 4, and 3, 4, 5. These are all wrong. Correct? Correct. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. And actually, let's move this above. So we start like this. And that should be the error. And yeah, this is looking good. And of course, fix the parentheses, do the test, runs, it works. Okay, that's good. Let's see here. So there is a GGG here. Good, good. Yeah, let's do the GGG as well. Yes, very good. Very good. And actually, that should be an error, no? But let's see. 5, 6. This is nil? Huh. Um, of course, this is nil. Anything above F basically would not work. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, let's leave it like that, of course. Ultimately, this is an internal function also, so users are not meant to interact with this directly. But the point is that it will return nil if the number is not up to F. So there is that. But I wonder if there is a way to check, like hex color P or something. No. Of course, let's see color P. Let's see here. Color dark defined, gray supported, blah, blah, blah. Color defined P. Yeah, I could write a test where this sort of thing is basically returning an error, but it's fine. It's fine. We don't really need to go down that path. Should test a single hash too. Ah, yes. Good point. Good point. A single hash is the other test. So like this, like this. And for this, as I said, we could have an error check where basically if you gave me the wrong thing, I'm going to throw an error. But nil is also okay, I think. It's fine in this case because if this fails, then other things that depend on this will fail, namely the formula and other things, which we will get to because there are plenty of tests to do here. Okay, so I say this is good. Let's file it in. And let's do a write a test for the thing by, and let's continue. What is the next? Okay, so this is the formula. Okay. Well, the formula is basically how I copied it from the website and then I wrote it in Lisp. So let's leave it. Let's leave the formula for now. I want to get to the contrast. ERT def test, and let's do MTT and modus-themes contrast, and then test that. I keep making this error here. Modus-themes contrast works as intended. So this should here equal. Actually, I don't remember if it returns a number or a string, but it should equal. Let's see. So if I do 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then here 1 2 3 1 2 3, is it a number? It's a number. Okay, so maybe we want to do it like this, like that. Good. And then, of course, the same should be true like this. Let me confirm. True, true. Okay, so that's good already. Let's now do, for example, red against white. I think that's 4 point something, but we will see. Okay, 399. Okay, fine. Again, I don't really want to test for all that. It's good when we are writing the actual code, but here I don't really care about it. So let's do the same thing. Let float 2 fn be a lambda of 2 now. So hex 1, hex 2. So it should be that where it will compare hex 1 to hex 2, and then it would do that same business that I had earlier. So it's %.tf. This is ugly, right? I don't like this at all. Like string to number. There probably is a function that does this. And if there isn't, I am really interested why not. So no, let's have it as 1. String to number. Okay, so like that. And what I want now is here. So fun call this with pure red like that and pure white. Come on. Okay. Pure white. So this should be 3.99. Okay, that's good. Let's bring this in. Wait, here. Okay, and actually let's take this and let's go to the scratch. And here, let's take this. here. Up, we missed the let. Okay, and this should be 4. Okay, okay, I can live with that. Even better. Like that. So of course this is inherently imprecise, but that's fine. That's the whole point here. So let's do blue. Blue, I think, is 9. 8. Okay. So let's have 859. 859 is for blue. Okay. And then let's do green. Green is around the 3. Ooh, even worse. Wow. Okay. So I think yellow is by far the worst for a light. So let's have that. And these are the 3 primary colors. So we will also do yellow, cyan, and magenta. Yeah, yellow is basically yellow. You should never use yellow with a light theme. Uh, that's basically unacceptable. It's like using white on white. So that's yellow. And let's do now yellow. Let's do cyan. Here. And this is a bit better, but not too good either. Oh, sorry. Here. This should be around 3, maybe. Again, no, too low. Too low. Too low for cyan as well. Because, of course, it has green in it, so green will bring the number down. It's magenta here that is actually okay. So magenta there is not too bad. Of course, all these secondary colors are not good at that level of saturation. So 340. Let's do that. And I can do with the darker as well. Maybe I can do something else to... Okay, it's not really important to do the dark actually, but for me to have a test for more of these. This line. Okay, okay, so that's good. Let's now have some tests where this doesn't work. So modus-themes contrast. Of course, I know it will work with the colors that I am testing in the previous test, so I don't need to test for all the permutations of color there, because it depends on that. So um, does this ever return nil? So for example, if we do this, no, that's wrong. This is wrong. Yes, this is definitely wrong. So, okay, we already found an error. So let's go here. Because the formula is erroneous now. Huh. It's the, wait, let's see. Formula, and then it adds something to that. Basically, the formula should make sure that this passes. Okay, okay. So it shouldn't be nil. It should be a when let. That's it. So if the other thing returns nil, then we are good. I could even make this an if let and return an error, but let me see now. If I do this, okay, now it returns nil because this was, wait, where is the nil now? It's here. Okay, so that works. Oh, wait, what was that? Let's see, here. Okay, that's nil. So basically the whole thing returns nil. And then what is the error? Ah, okay, okay. So we have errors, folks. So, okay, good. Good, good, good. So the formula here, it cannot be like this. So it cannot, it has to be hex 1 weight. And here, hex 2 weight. And let's do an if let. Hex 1 weight is this, and then it's this, okay? So here is where I will put the error. I don't need the error in all places. So if that is true, then do this. Um, let's call this contrast. Contrast. It's better. I like verbose code. Let's have it like this. It's self-evident what the intention is if you have it verbose. Um, both. Let's have it here and must be valid. Hexadecimal RGB, and then we have hex color 1 and 2. Okay, good. Okay, that's good. So here is a when let, it's fine, just return nil basically. I don't need to throw an error there, but I will test this now as well. Of course, when let cannot work with this actually. Maybe I will rewrite this a bit better, but this looks fine. Okay, I see the chat moving, folks. So I'm coming. I'm coming to test. So this should error. I'm coming to comment, rather. This should error. Let's see. Okay, no. Emacs edebug remove instrumentation. Okay, bye. Yes. Okay, errors. A beautiful error. So that's fine. This should error. This. So here we have this. Here we have this. This should error. Okay. And yeah, okay. We don't need to test every possible error. So that's good. I will do a test for this as well, actually. I won't. But let's come here. Before I commit this, let me check how we are doing with the comments. So where are we? Where are we? Uh, let's see. Yeah, I know. Testing floats, of course, is an issue, but that's why I was like, okay, let's just have zero point 0.5 and it's good. Let's not worry too much about it. Hello, Prod. Gotta go to work. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Okay, take care and good luck with everything. And of course, enjoy the weekend ahead. Let's see. I usually check the absolute of difference to a small epsilon. Okay, okay. The contrast of magenta on white is a pi. Yeah, indeed, indeed. Let's see. Hello, Prod. Good luck with the maintenance. Thank you very much. Modus-themes is one of the reasons why Emacs is such a great tool to use. Very well. Good to know. So we have here an expression for maybe how that could be done. The expected minus the actual. Yeah, it's this sort of thing where I was like, okay, that's why I will use format. But yeah, maybe this is more accurate. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you are quite quiet in this stream. At least I had to volume up a bit in order to be able to hear you properly. Oh, I didn't touch anything, so I don't know what's the issue here. But yeah, hopefully, of course, I can shout more, but hopefully it is okay now. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't change anything, so um, hopefully it will work. Let's get to here, and then of course, F orange is the number one. It's a nice theme, of course. So congratulations to whoever designed it. Okay, let's see. Where are we? We are on this here where it will be a simple test. Um, let's come here, def test mtt this, and then test that this does the right thing. Okay. Yeah, the doc strings for these, maybe I should just remove them. Most of the time they are not useful. But yeah, I will go back and check again. So, should the formula here. when we do it, this should return a list, right? It should return, okay, no, it should return a weight. Okay, let me actually do it here with, for example, F. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So nil. Oh, that's not right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is wrong. What did I do wrong? Okay, let's debug. Here. Okay. While there are channels, okay, maybe I need to return contribution after doing apply. Okay. There are no more channels. That's good. So add up what you did there. Okay. So where is the nil? Huh? Now it returns 1. What is happening? So edebug, remove instrumentation, all function. Okay, now it returns 1. Maybe I hadn't evaluated it. So equal to, that's right. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 should be 0, right? Yeah, okay, so that's good. And then we just want to do a should not, and we are good if we have a number that is incorrect. And that's fine because the test above is covering it. So maybe I can actually reference this test now, so that's good. Here, also see modus themes test and this. And I want to copy this here. Okay, so it shouldn't return an error. I don't think we need an error here. Actually, we will return an error. It's bet. Do I want to return an error in the ancillary function? No. I want to return an error in this one because this is the user-facing function. The other one is for internal purposes. This is like the real one that I care about. So yeah, that's good. Actually, I didn't test the other one. So ERT contrast. Let's see. Okay, that works. And let's do the WCAG. That works as well. That's good. Okay, we come to the 6 digits. So, okay, this is another one of those cases. So let's come here. But before we get to the 6 digits, adjust value. Okay. It's because the other are 8 digits, I think. No, it's a 4 each, I think, was what they do. So actually, I want to have a to do for this. 1 second. Because I'm not sure yet. Let me see here, adjust. Adjust, what does this return? If you do something like this, for example, I want to adjust red, pure red by 10%. Of course, because I have done the 6 digits. Let's see debug. Okay. So that's the number. Okay. That number is what? So here we have 1, 2, 3. Is it 3? 4 maybe. Yes, it's like this. It's 4, 4, 4, 4, and I turn it to 2, 2, 2. So hopefully we don't lose too much with that. Of course, what is like that? And then here it is what? Let's do edebug, remove instrumentation from everything. 19, 19. Yes, I think that's fine. Maybe it could be not 1A. Like if we really wanted to round it as well, this could be 1a instead of 19. But this is fine. Like, I don't mind that kind of change, because to the eye, you cannot really tell the difference between 1a and 1.9. Like, this is basically not a difference. Unless you have really good equipment and you have the two side by side. If you have them side by side, then yes, you can tell the difference. But otherwise, you won't. So let's do the art test. So here, MTT, here, the thing. So test that, not this, not this. Then 6 digits here works as intended. Okay, so should, and this is a string now. So should this, if we do 1, 2, 1999, 1999, that should be FF 1919, like this. Oh no, what did I do wrong? Oh, sorry, 99. Ah, is that what I was doing earlier? Wait, I have it on in the kill ring. Hmm? Where is it? Okay, I lost it. Let's do it again. So if I do the modus-themes modus-themes adjust, adjust value. Then we have FF, what was it? 0000 by 10%. And this gives us what? FFF, it's 4Fs. Okay, that's why. No problem, no stress. Let's come there. So FF like that, and this should work. Okay, that should work. But this function, of course, should error. Like if it already has 6, okay, if it has 6, it returns it as is. Okay, so that's already good. So let's actually do that. If it has 6, it should return it as is, basically. But this is not right. If it has 3, it should also return it as is. So I will have to add that. For example, let's do here. It does the wrong thing. Okay, so that's good. I have to fix it. Here it should be, or here it should be 3 or 6. Like this should work. Yes, good. That's better. So it should accept 3, it should accept 6, and then it should accept when it's with 4 for every component. So that's good as well. Error. Do we have an error? Will we ever get an error? We won't, because the hex color has to pass. If we want to have an error, it has to, let me think. I could pass it through that other function, but because of course I have a pk_let here. Here it's color name to RGB. Why? Why would I want color name to RGB here? I don't. So if I do this now, then that's fine. Of course, I have to check actually, because this is not used. Okay. So this is meant for users. Okay, fantastic. That's great. So let's keep it like that now. So if I now do, I think here I wouldn't do error checking. I wouldn't do, because this is an ancillary function, and I would prefer to have the error here, basically here. But let me see. Let me see the test 1 second of this again. not of this, of this here. And do we have an error here? Ah, we have an error. Okay, so it will just throw an error here, and that's good. That's fine. We don't need to have errors all over the place. So that's fine. But actually, we want. Actually, I want. I want because, of course, you can call this function without the other function. So let's come here. No. Hmm. Where is this used? It's used in the adjust value and then below. So, of course, unless the other functions are using also that, here the error will never occur. So we definitely need the error. But I need it here as well to do the splitting. Okay, that's a little bit of a tricky case. Let's do the 6 digits. 6 digits. So here we just remove the hash from the string and we check how long is the string. And then we split over 4. Of course, we have like a very specific assumption here that so it should be called a little bit different. It should be called here 8 to 6 digits. Like that's better. So then it's clear what the assumption is. Okay, reduce representation to 6 from 8 to 6. From 8 to 6 digits. If hex color is 3, let's say, is 3 or 6 digits, then return it as is. I don't know if I should write the test here for color, like, because if color is not right, is it its job? No. It will return the wrong thing. It will return the wrong thing, but it's fine. I will leave it as is. I won't have the error here. So I will leave it as is because the error will be embedded elsewhere. So that's fine. Let's have it like this. And then here, let's do, oh, I didn't commit the other ones. Okay, let's commit them now. So, no, wait, I committed too much. Not, wait, here. Wait. This is fine. This I don't want. And actually, I don't want this either. I want the formula on its own. So I want that, and I think I have a test for that already here. Refine this and write a test for it. Okay. So let's do the contrast, modus-themes contrast. And here it's this. And do we have anything else here? No, that's good. Here. Okay, did I add the test? No, not all the tests. Let's not get too eager with this. Okay, so refine modus themes contrast and write a test for it. Okay, good. This I will check, but 1 second. Let's go and see what we have in the comments because I saw them moving a little bit. Where are we? Do the test pass. Of course, we will check. Let's do ERT. Let's do for everything. And of course, this one doesn't pass because I didn't evaluate the functions yet. Let's see here. Everything passes. So far, so good. But I will continue, so there is more. Let's see. The volume is fine mostly, but I think if you move your head to certain directions, the mic does not properly pick up the sound. Oh, okay. So I will try to not be as animated. Let's see. If you want more volume, you could try the snail in your ear to come closer. Let's try the automatic translation feature. Or it could be something else, of course, but now it is fine. Okay, okay, good to know. How are you liking tabs? I don't. So I find it too busy and I don't like them at all. Also, the fact that this is here, it's already bothering me, but I will leave it for this stream. And next stream, I will bring it down to the mode line. I prefer it there because then I actually don't see it. So there is that. Okay, let me actually do something with the volume control. Maybe I can improve the input um, configuration. Like that's how I always had it, folks. Um, okay, let's. Okay, maybe this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this would work. Let's see. Okay, here. So that's the digits. Here, all that. I will leave this as is. This is fine. I say leave it as is. So that's good. But let's move to the actual function here where I want to do this. Because this, of course, if this fails, I want to have a when let here. When let, let's do an if let. If let the color, the RGB, let's have it like this. So if let the RGB here, RGB, now of course, if let with pk let, it's too busy, but let's have it like that. If this is doing the right thing, otherwise, let's throw an error. The color has to be valid hexadecimal RGB color. And this is for the hex RGB. So there is that. Of course, the percentage, I should be checking for the percentage as well. Where do I pass percentage? I pass it here. So, and then we can also do, let's do it here. Unless, percentage has to be actually from, can it be 0? Actually, I don't know. Will it work if it is 0? What? Wrong number, compiled. What is happening? PK sled. Okay, 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 good, good, good. Okay, here. Let's go to the scratch and see what we can learn from this. So if I have FF like that, and I say 0, that works. Of course, that's useless. It works. If I say 100, it works. If I say 110, could this ever work? Let's do something smaller. If you do 100, if you do 99, okay, so basically you can give it like a million and then it still works. Okay. I'm not feeling too bad about this because the core function there is accepting it, so I will accept it as well. If you do this, will it work? Okay, so basically it will go to the highest number it can represent as a color, so that's fine. I say we don't touch this. We don't need it. Okay, so the error is just for if the color is valid, and then that is covered by the other test, which we will find right now. Earth def test, so MTT, the thing. So test that here does the right thing. Okay, and then of course I have the here, which I want to also see. Okay, that's good. And then let's do it should string equal. So I can actually do the modus themes adjust value here like that. And this should be with 10%. This should be, I think it's what we did earlier, 1919, but I will check right now again. Yeah, okay, that's good. I don't need to do many tests here, but it should error if this is actually not a color. So if it's like that, this should error. Beautiful. And then, of course, we have all the cases that are covered by this. So I expect that to work. Is there a scenario where it returns the same color? Is if it is nil. And okay, so there are scenario. I will add them here. So if we take any color, actually, if we take any color, for example, let's take, let's do the 505050. If we do this to 100, it will always be white, 4, 6. And if we do it to 0, it will always be black, right? Is it? No? So, oh, okay. If it's a 0, actually it's itself. So it's the minus 100, which will be, okay. So that's fine. And then let's do also the minus 100, which should be black. Minus 100, like that. Okay, yeah, okay. So we have these conditions. That's good. And that should error. Is there a scenario where this will ever return nil? I don't think so, because if this doesn't work, then we go straight to the error. If that works, this should work as well, which means that this will work as well. And then those functions, if they return nil at something, yeah, we will check. I cannot think of a scenario where this returns nil. But okay, I will leave it like this. I think that's fine. I defined a new function to copy the value there. Okay, good. So let me actually commit. So, okay, let's actually change the name of helper function. Change ancillary function. Change name of ancillary function to be more precise. And refine its implementation. Okay, so let's have that. Up. Actually, it's fine. I will do it like this. So improve modus themes adjust value and write a test for it. So that's good. Color 8 to whatever. Okay. And then write a test for modus themes color 8 to 6 and rename and use its name instead of the older symbol. Okay, that's fine. Let's continue. Let's see where we are. I saw some comments in the chat, so I'm coming. Let's see what we have. Yeah, I can't do tabs either, but I am always happy to learn there's something I'm missing. I actually use tabs in one scenario. Let me 1 second disable keycast. Keycast tab bar mode. So I am in a scenario like this, right? There are no tabs. Actually, when I am programming on my own, it will look like this. Okay, it will look something like this. Okay, but let me make it large and let me bring this back. So if I bring up Magit, it will open in a new tab. And the idea for me is because Magit will display windows and will do all that. So I don't want to disturb my window layout. And the thing with Magit is that I will only use it for a little while to just commit and basically get out of it. So I want to just get out as quickly as possible. Also, on this note, I have Control X 0, which normally deletes a window. I have it do what I mean. So Control X 0 is prot do what I mean, basically, delete the window. Which will also delete a tab if the window is the only window on that tab. So there is that. But the thing with the keycast at the top that I don't like, I also don't like having a single tab visible there. But I did it for this stream, and I don't think I will do it again. Unless, of course, it's so useful that, yeah, I can compromise. So, yeah, no problem. Let's see, where are we? Font lock function call face fixed pitch, because I don't imagine any mode using this as variable pitch mode. How is this achieved in inline code blocks, for instance? Um, the thing is that you can, like, why should something that is basically color coded actually also have a specific preference for font family? Because I could totally choose to program like this. Why would I want to choose like this? Because I have a quasi proportional font, which actually looks decent even for programming. So personally, I wouldn't want um, something that is about color to also conflate color with font and basically make it so that you cannot opt out of it, because now you have to opt out of the color basically. um, any package that needs to have variable pitch mode and basically mixed pitch, and this applies to any package, or to put it more generally, any package that needs to have preferences on top of generic font lock, it should actually implement its own face. It should actually be like, let's say, for example, org. Org has these code blocks, right? And in the code blocks, you have all the font lock faces. But what org does, which is correct, it defines a face for the block itself. So you can say, you know what, I want this block to be monospaced. And this means that within org, those colors will be monospaced, those faces. So you don't punish everybody because you want to fix org. That's the idea, right? So because org does the right thing, everybody benefits. But if there is a package that wants to have something like what org does, it has to follow best practices. So it has to be like, you know what, I implement my own face, and then of course take this face and make it monospaced. And that would be the way I would suggest doing it. Inline code blocks. So yeah, that would be the idea. Percentage zero should return the same color. Indeed. So that's what I did here. Of course, maybe you made the comment before I wrote this, so you are right, of course. My first message got filtered out from the stream. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is about. But I was asking for this in issue 208 of the modus themes. Okay. I remember now. That's from types, the TS mode. Um, I believe I responded to your question, and I said basically what I just said. Um, but I will say it again. You have to contact the maintainer of types TS mode and petition them to include a specific phase for anything that is a code block. If it's inline or as a block, I don't really know enough about types, but we cannot punish everybody because types wants to have font lock faces. So if types should combine monospaced with variable pitch fonts, then the right thing to do is for them to define extra faces, and then at the theme level or as a user, we can then change those faces to have the font we want, and then everybody benefits. Org does this, Markdown does this, and I don't remember. Maybe other packages as well do this. But anything that is like org in that regard or like Markdown should follow best practices. I don't know why your comment was filtered, though. I guess you were linking to something. I have not set this option, by the way, folks. I have made it so that it is actually unfiltered. There is an option there. I click unfiltered, but yeah, apparently it's not unfiltered. So there is that. Let's see. The next question in YouTube native chat, the first one I see is about the font lock function call face. Yeah, same for me. Appreciating keycast in any form. Yes, I think it is good. Did I enable it back? Okay, it's there. Okay. It is good. Yes, for sure. It's a package by Jonas Bernoulli, by the way. Jonas is the developer of Magit and many other excellent top tier packages. So, of course, Keycast is no exception. Let's see. But I don't like it up there, at least personally, because when I type, I am focusing on the upper part of the screen. So having something there that keeps flickering bothers me. It's actually the same reason why, if you have noticed, even though um, I have here Corfu enabled, I don't use it all that much because if I am typing and I get these pop-ups, I immediately get distracted. It's useful when I am searching for something and I'm not sure exactly how it's written. For example, if I say modus and then 8, that's a good use case for me for Corfu. But if I am just typing and then things pop up on their own, like I get annoyed. I don't like it. Of course, getting annoyed is maybe overselling it. It's not like I will get agitated, but as a preference, I would rather have it off. Let's put it this way. Where are we? Your beard is absolutely goated. So yeah, thank you. I cannot take any credit for that, of course, because that's what genes do. Like when you have hair, you just have it. Like it's not up to you. Of course, that said, if you have good habits for your life in general, that will also show at the level of the hair. Like if you see hair and it's shiny or it has a certain volume of whatever, it's also because other things are right. So if you are in a condition where you're not taking good care of yourself, that will eventually also be visible at the level of your hair, beard in this case. A beard, but also hair, actually. So it's both. So there is that. But just to say, because this is actually a discussion that I had in the past. So at some point, somebody comes to me and is like, "What beard products do you use?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Me living under a rock, I had no idea that there are actually products. So there are oils and there are creams and there are brushes and there are like a million things that men can spend their money on for their beard. Um, and I'm like, I don't use anything. And I would personally caution against anybody who is trying to sell you products to, I don't know, boost the beard growth or whatever, because probably that is a snake oil. I don't want to be absolute, but I am really skeptical. Okay, so just putting that out there. Let's see. Specific faces is like semantic CSS classes. Very helpful. They are very helpful and it's important to cover them. The thing with semantics, though, because we had this discussion as well with Eshel Yaron, who is a contributor to Core Emacs and a developer of the how is it called, semantic fontification for Emacs Lisp specifically. Maybe I can do it here. eLisp semantic. What is it? I forgot how it's called. Emacs Lisp semantic Emacs Lisp. Yeah, how was it called? I have a function here where I use it actually. So let me go quickly check. Do I use it? I thought I did. Here, okay. eLisp fontify semantically. Actually, let's do it here. Where are we? Let's do it here. Let's do it here, and I will show you what I wanted to say. So let's fontify semantically. Do I need to do something else? Maybe revert buffer. Is it working? No. There has to be something else, and I'm not seeing it. Okay, let me do a macro expand of something. Let me go to a def macro. Do I have a macro here? Def macro. Okay, we have a def macro, modus themes with colors. Do we have somewhere? Okay, let me do this so we can test. No, I should have a macro somewhere here. Let's see. So, oh my goodness, I don't have a macro now. When you need it, where are the macros when you need them? Let's go to the note. So let's go here because I have plenty of macros. Def macro and then define. So we have this. Okay, so this is good. Okay, here it is. I will do the semantic highlighting. So I have this macro expand thingy going on. No, these are small. I want something bigger. These are very small and we don't really see what I want to say. I cannot think now of another macro I have. Maybe in my substitute package, but are those? I don't think they are bigger macros. Def macro define. Okay, so is this any better? Okay, let's see. Okay, it's a little bit better because it has more colors. Anyway, let's get rid of this docstring. We don't want it for now. Oh, I cannot. Okay, leave it as is. Okay, here is what happens. Maybe I can make the font a bit larger. So here is what happens. Everything now is highlighted. So if I were to use the same colors that I normally use for the modus themes, which are fairly intense, okay, then what would happen here? This would be very hard to read. And this is what I was telling Eshel Yaron, the developer of this feature, is that it's a good idea, but themes that depend on using high contrast cannot actually use this the way themes with low contrast can use it. Like such themes have to be really careful to use more desaturated colors so that they don't overwhelm the user. That's basically the idea here. And so what you see here are more subtle colors. Let me switch to modus vivendi 1 second. So I will switch to a dark theme, folks. If you have a very bright screen or you are in a room where this will startle you, please take a second. I am switching now to a dark theme, okay? So I did that. Notice now the difference in intensity. Maybe it's subtle, maybe you cannot tell, but this and this are more intense than the colors down here. And if I were not doing that, then again, it's what I was telling you, it would feel overwhelming, especially once you have a lot of code like this. So now it's like 3 lines, but imagine like you have like a screen full of basically full bright colors. It's too much. So that's why on the one hand, I like the idea of semantic coloration. On the other hand, we have to be careful how we do it from a theming point of view. Not in terms of functionality, the functionality is good. I have no problem whatsoever with the functionality. So let me now switch back to a light theme, folks. So again, adjust your monitor or whatever, switching now. And actually, I will switch to another theme just so we have a change of pace. So let's come here, delete everything. And where are we even here now? So I was writing the tests and I want to bring the tests back here, um, here, and I will continue with that. But let me continue reading the comments because I didn't get to all of them. Um, where are we? Let me see. Specific faces is like semantic CSS for classes. Okay, that's where I was. I completely agree on completion showing up on their own. I only want when shown when I press tab. I'm not sure what's the context for this. I cannot remember. Ah, it's for Corfu. Yes. Okay, so we are on the same page. You will notice also, by the way, that when I do anything with the mini buffer, nothing pops up. But if you actually see above, I am using Vertigo. So I am using Vertigo, but I have done this little set of tweaks, which is private Vertigo. And the reason I do it like this is one, because I don't actually like pop ups. So I would have done this anyway. But two, and more importantly, because I want to minimize the chances of actually showing something that is private. And it's also why I don't use Consult for my videos whenever I do a video, because Consult has the preview functionality, which is great normally, but specifically for sharing the screen, it can be an issue. So there is that. Where are we? Let's continue. Lots of hearts over there. So good. Very well. That's related to the beard. So yeah, that's nice. I kind of want the completion window always open, but I really don't want it moving around or covering my current buffer. Yes, it's difficult to have, though, an interface that will, on the one hand, be fully informative, on the other hand, be completely unobtrusive. Because even if you have like a full window, like that takes up space. So, me, for example, imagine I have something like this, right? And this area here is where my completions are. I don't want to be coding in that tiny little area over there and have this here be like this. I would rather maximize the screen I am using and then live with the fact that I have to type a bit more. Control C PSG, I'm not sure what that does. Is that maybe for projectile? Yes. Okay. Yes. So the default for the project is Control X PG. So that's the default, like that's built in. Project find regex. Let's continue. How do you choose macro vs function? So generally, you want to use functions. Macros are useful if you want to do one of two things. You want to have like a template where something big is written as something small, basically. That's the one case. The other is if you want to benefit from compilation, from byte compilation, because the macro expands at compile time, whereas the function is evaluated at runtime. So if there is something you want to build into the function that the macro will produce, or in the form that the macro will produce, depending on what you are doing, you may want to have that at compile time. But generally, when in doubt, just use a function. Don't go to macros. The thing with macros is that because of this difference in the time of evaluation, it can be harder to reason about it if you are not clear on what is evaluated where. And maybe it's a good opportunity for me actually to do this. Actually, let's do it a little bit different. Since I am sharing my whole screen, I have bframe enabled. So bframe is one of my packages. Let's come here, substitute, because I found the macro there. Define the macro, sorry, def macro. So we have this command here. No, this is all at, let me think of a package. So it's not substitute. I'm trying to think now back to all my packages. Where do I have, maybe in the node, I have a def macro, which is, okay, here is a good example. So what this macro does is it creates a function, okay? And you will notice that we use the backtick and the comma notation, but we don't use it from the beginning. So what this means is at compile time, this part will be evaluated. And then this part will be expressed with these, whatever is evaluated there, filled in wherever they are called. And then at runtime, what will exist is the function that this defines. So actually, this define is what will exist. And we do this here, and actually, we can macro expand it so you can see what this is like. And actually, this would have been a good example for what I was saying earlier with semantic colors. But look at this. So what we will be seeing at runtime is this. But what we are writing at the compile time is that extra little bit above, which will format the names of the functions, you see? So it will format retrieve file name and then something for the component. And we see here, we'll retrieve file name and then the component, right? So that's where it is used. By the way, hovering over those semantic thingies is really slow, so I have to be a bit more careful with the mouse. Um, so yeah, let me kill this buffer. But yeah, that's the idea. Let's close the note. and the frame. And let's come back to modus, folks. But I want to get to all the comments. So, of course, I have to say, I announced this 45 minutes before getting on the stream. And I was basically like, okay, now I will have some focused time to write tests. So the comments keep coming. So let's see. Hi, everyone. Hello to you as well. Um, let's see what this is here. Depends. Do you want to generate values or do you want to generate code? And that's the other good difference. Yes. For macro versus function. Um, and I may need to skip the crafters stream later. Yeah. So, of course, David, unlike me, is consistent with the hours, whereas me, I'm like, okay, we do a live stream at 2. Now it's at 9 p.m. And tomorrow it will be at 6 in the morning or whatever. So there is that. Lovely theme. So thank you. That's modus operandi tinted. Let me see. I need to get my microphone and VT avatar. Then I'll just stream at the same time as David. Wahaha. So yeah, that's good. Um, can you link to your YouTube? I don't know if you can, but if you can, yeah, feel welcome to do it. I don't mind. So this theme is modus operandi tinted. There is also modus vivendi tinted. So there is that. Let's see. Fair for on-screen real estate. I have 3 or 4 Emacs frames side by side. Okay, so if you have basically that, then it's good. Yes, very good. So then you can allocate some space to that. Add privacy. I think I would use a separate Linux account for streaming to ensure that I cannot accidentally leak something. If the data isn't there, it cannot be leaked. Good point. That's the other way of doing it. Until you start setting things up for your stream to be more efficient or whatever, and then eventually you write your bank account information there with all the passwords, and then users can benefit from your work. Viewers, rather, not users. Let's see. I guess you know your stuff in regards to privacy. So yeah, that's important, of course. Use package is a good example of something that must be a macro. Exactly. Have you gone for your daily walk with your dogs yet, Prot? I did go in the morning. So I always go early in the morning. Then, depending on how hot it is, I will go basically after my stream here, maybe at around 4. And then I will go again in the night. If it's really hot, like during the summer, I will go early in the morning and late in the evening. And then in the evening, maybe there will be 2 walks. So it depends. But sometimes also, I will go for a very long walk, like a 4-hour walk. And then the dogs don't need to do 2 walks in the evening. So there is that. But we always walk a lot, we enjoy it a lot. It's really fun, and I have a good time always. Let's see. And basically, for the dogs, this is like paradise. Like they walk off leash, they can run around. They will, if they find a partridge or a rabbit, they will chase it off. They can never catch it, of course, but it's still fun for them. So that's good. And the wild animals stay sharp that way. So, Prot, you rock. Give advice on choosing right tool, please. A tool for what? Because it depends on what you are trying to do. Like, what are you working towards? So, if I were to answer in a very general sense, then pick a tool that helps you work towards your goal, and conversely, avoid any tool that makes you deviate from your goal. But of course, if you give me something more specific, I'm happy to answer that. Prot, it's all banter related to the System Crafters streams. Yeah, and I probably missed the inside jokes. So there is that. Let's see. What do you think about taking notes with native language or English? Do you always use English for everything? Um, I'm not sure if it's for everything, but for most things, I do use English, yes. It's a good way for me to practice a foreign tongue. Of course, my native language is Greek. So it's good for me to practice my English. but then it's also easier in terms of predictability. Because if I need to grep for something, for example, I don't have to think of, well, is this an English word? Is it a Greek word? Maybe it's French or whatever. Like, I don't have to think of that. So it minimizes friction. And generally, consistency is what minimizes friction for me. And this is actually why I even developed the denote, because the whole point of denote is that file names are consistent. Like, you don't have to think of how you name your thing each time. Because I used to just name them one time it was like this, another time it was something different, and then I could never find anything. Whereas consistency means predictability, and predictability improves with retrieval. So there is that. Relating to the types issue, would it be more fruitful to contact the Emacs devs to add mode-specific face overrides? I'll search if I'll search if someone has already done this. Maybe that's a more general and thus better solution, but trying to implement it in core Emacs probably is more work, because now you have to implement it in a way that works for everybody in all cases. Whereas having one extra face for types the TS mode, and the reason I am saying this is because every major mode already has a mapping for what faces to use. Like, faces don't just magically on their own appear anywhere. Like, I haven't looked at the code of types, but I am confident that they have somewhere the font lock keywords and they say this thing has that face. So what my point is, make it so that this thing has that face, which is a compound of the types face and font lock. Basically, that would be the idea. And of course, you can express that compound as a single face. So then it's also easier for everybody to do what we discussed earlier with regard to font families. So thanks. The question about the tool is answered. It was about software to make music. Okay, very well, very well. Okay, let's continue with the tests, folks. I got to everybody in the chat. And yeah, where are we even? Okay, we did the thing with the adjust, which is right here. That's good. Um, I don't think I have ever written a test for variables now that I'm seeing some variables. Modus-themes activate. Load theme if needed so that it can be used by other commands. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is loading a modus theme. So 1 second. Let's come here. Let's actually go to the scratch here. And maybe we can clear all this now. So if I try to load, what is it even called? Adwaita or whatever. Oh, that's true. Okay, let's see debug because I don't even remember what I was doing here. Oh, wait, modus themes, activated themes. So Adwaita is there? No, that's not good. It should be there. Wait. Let's make this nil. Okay. So if null properties, of course, this will reify them. Okay, it's not a problem that they are added there. But here, if it is core, is void or nil, then we need to load it. I don't know if I want to change this though. I'm not sure about this, folks. Because this should activate a modus theme. That's how it is used, of course, everywhere. But I don't want to get into some uncharted territory, because then where is this used? So let's say we push Adwaita. Where is this used? It's used entirely within this? Okay. If it's used entirely within this, then I don't mind. It's used entirely. Okay. So then it's fine. It's fine for it not to do any checks. Um, where is this? Actually, why did I disable which function mode? Okay. Um, okay, let's see. Modus themes get color value. So if the theme doesn't exist, activate it. Okay, I think it's fine. I think modus themes activate, I will not modify. Let's see. So I will leave it as is. Okay, this is fine. This should just activate a theme basically. How do we know, of course, that the theme is active now? So for example, if I do custom theme P, if I do that, that's of course a custom theme. So let's have it there. If I do, I forgot what are the themes that are built into Emacs, apart from the modus themes as well. Me, I don't use the other themes. Anyway, Tango. Um, my opinion is not required. If I had a different opinion, of course, I wouldn't have developed the modus themes. So Tango is nil. Okay, that's good. So basically, that's how we test that the theme is activated. It's not entirely right though. Okay, I see how we will do it. Let's do this here. ERT def test mtt this check that test. Let's do test that activates the given theme. Okay, so I want to do now two things. So should not, let's come here. So should not, and then I want to activate, and then this. Basically, that would be the idea. Of course, I won't do it with Adwaita. So let's do, actually, Adwaita is a better test because then I know I am, okay, let's do it with modus. Modus operandi, let's do it with Tritanopia. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this is less likely to be enabled. So of course now it is enabled because I'm using the modus themes, but that's fine. So that's the one scenario. It's not correct though, right? Because this will now throw an error, like because all these are nil now. Exactly. So this returns a theme. So I'm not sure how best to express this now. Maybe I can do a whenlet. Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure how best it. Um, maybe I can do a when. Yeah, I'm not sure how best to express this. So that should. Okay, this is fine. I think should. Um, maybe we can do it like this. Otherwise, should not. Okay, this may be a better test. Let's see. So ERT and then activate. No, what did I do wrong? So let's see. Should not up. Sorry. Okay, I deleted it. So this is nil. Therefore, of course, it's the opposite. No, wait. 1 second. Oh, okay. Here is the problem. Okay, here. Let's try again the test. It's the wrong thing because should not. Of course, it does because it does exist. So should, is that correct? Okay, that's correct. So if we do this, Okay, I want to change it. So let's do if that, then this should. Otherwise, it should um, modus themes activate, and then let's pick this. That should return non-nil. Actually, does it return the specific theme? Edebug remove instrumentation. Not that it matters, but I think it returns. Okay, it returns true. Okay. And then that should also be enabled. So, okay. Do I care about this? Um, if this is nil, no, this is not a test for modus themes activate. So probably I don't care about this. So I would say this is enough, right? Let's see. So, oh, I failed. What did I do wrong? Modus themes activate. Ah, this returns nil. Huh. Why would it return nil? Ah, of course. Of course. No, no, no. Okay, so we need this. So, okay. Now I understood my test better. So let's have that here, and then should not. Okay, and then it should. Let's see. Of course, I don't know if it's a good idea to write tests with an if like that. But I will leave it because then it's this can work. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a good practice actually, folks. So I will let it pass now, and I think this is fine. It shouldn't do too many error checks anyway here, because the whole point of this is that it loads a theme, and then we can establish if the theme is a modus theme or not. So I would say this is okay. Though maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe because, of course, if it doesn't have properties, we cannot tell if it's a modus theme. And then, of course, we have to load it in order to see if it has properties. So, yeah, at this point, we cannot determine if it is a modus theme. So let's actually just commit this here. So write test for modus themes activate. Okay, that's good. And let's continue. I think I saw movement in the chat, so I will come to you, folks. And exactly, this is the next step. So this we will test. This should be easy. But let me see where we are in the chat. So I was here with the music tool. Okay, so getting the types dev to just add would be. Okay, yes. And of course, you can always include me in CC or, at Protesilaos on GitHub, whatever. I'm happy to help, right? So we will do this right. Let's see. You probably already answered that on your blog or in a stream, but what are your thoughts about AI? Feel free to skip this question. No, I'm happy to answer. So, of course, this is a big topic and we can talk about it for 2 hours. The gist is the following: there are political slash ethical questions that you can raise about it, which I think are valid, and I agree basically with them. The fact that it basically appropriates the commons, privacy when it comes to the environment, like all these issues, right? The fact that, of course, AI is now used for weapons and policing and all that. So, of course, that is uh, looking not good and dystopic and egregious, depending on what we are talking about. Okay. Now, if there is the discussion about the tool itself, I think it's a useful tool, like for all sorts of practical use cases. Because, of course, you may think of the scenario where somebody is doing some vibe coding and they don't really care and they just put something out there, and you're like, okay, this is AI slop. But you cannot reduce every use case to slop, because if you are using it carefully, if you know what you are doing, it's not sloppy anymore. Now it's doing something helpful. Maybe it augments what you are capable of doing. Maybe it speeds things up. Maybe it's like a better tool for searching and collating data, which you, of course, still have to verify. So there are many good use cases for AI in general. Okay. And then you can even have other use cases such as AI that, I don't know, monitors your electricity situation and adjusts the balance, the load. And you can think of all sorts of cases where smart robots are basically a good idea, provided, of course, there are all the checks that need to be in place depending on the specifics. That granted, there is also an other side to it, which is for coding specifically and for the individual. What are you writing code for, or why are you writing code? If you are writing code for work and otherwise you don't care about it, if it has no recreational value for you, then probably doing it with the help of an agentic bot makes sense because you want to get your job done, you have specific targets, you have deadlines. Uh, it's just a job, you have to earn income, okay? But if you are programming the way I program here, which is for fun fundamentally, even though, of course, what I'm doing is useful for other people, some people, fundamentally it's for fun, it's a hobby, it's not a job, right? And because it's for fun, I don't want to give that fun away to some computer, to some AI. I want to have fun myself. I want to be playing around basically with the code, with the tests, with the errors I make and all that. That's part of the process of learning, and it's part of the process of feeling that you are contributing to a collective, to the community in this case, because of course we are talking about Emacs, we are talking about free software, and we are in this together. Whereas if I am like, okay, you know what, I write to the prompt, just write the tests for me, and I will check out back later and then just commit, right? Maybe it will do the same job or an even better job. I don't want to say that it won't, right? Of course, if it will, that's another discussion. But let's say it does for the sake of the argument. Even if it does a better job, it's not fun anymore. Like, I don't like it. So, because it's not fun, I will not use that, even if at the technical level, it's better than me in every way. So, basically, that's the idea. Um, but of course, the political issues, I don't want to say that the political issues are not important and we should just focus on the technicalities. For me, the political issues are of paramount importance, right? Um, though I have to say here something that is always relevant for free software activists and stuff. I don't believe you can solve political problems with technicalities, with hacks. Like we will solve, for example, the problem of the over concentration of wealth by doing copyleft. I don't believe that works. They will simply circumvent copyleft and do something else. Like if you really care about political issues and you want to fix things or to at least campaign for changing things, for thoroughgoing reforms, you have to be involved in politics. Basically, that's my idea. And this applies to anything, whether it's software, the environment, the financial system, wars, whatever. Okay? You don't just do it with hacks, or you don't just doing by withdrawing in your little bubble and being like, you know what? Me and three of my friends, we have this community, this club among ourselves. We are ideologically on the same page, and therefore we oppose the system that way. You are not having an impact. Of course, maybe in your little bubble, because you are privileged in ways you don't realize, that works, but in society at large, it doesn't scale. Let's see, where are we? So, band aid solution, I think it'd be better to use phase specific major modes if it existed. Yes, and that's the idea of the major mode itself defining those phases instead of using generic phases. That way, it'd be possible to do stuff like variable pitch comments, which might be pretty useful. I agree 100%, and that's basically the gist of what I was suggesting earlier. I saw a great video yesterday called How to Score in the Art Racket from ACM Sigplan on software to make music. okay, sounds promising, but I don't know enough about the context, so I cannot really comment. There are also nice live coding music projects if that's your jam. For example, Strudel, which is JS, Tidal Cycle, which is Haskell. For score-based, Muse Score 3, 4 is a bit commercial. So yeah, unfortunately, folks, I don't know anything about music. I'm an ignoramus, so I will just let you figure that out. Let's see. I've emailed the Emacs devel about theme-specific phases. If they say it's impractical, then I'll contact the types devs. The archive refreshes every 15 minutes. I'll post the link to it once it updates. Okay, sure, sure. I think theme specific phases are impractical though. If those phases are meant to apply to other packages, because a theme like the modus themes, for example, has to cover literally hundreds of packages. So if I have not just me specifically, any theme, but if the theme developer has to cover all the permutations and the possible details that go into hundreds of packages, one, that's too much work for a single person. And two, how long will the theme be like in terms of a code base? Like that would be a massive code base eventually. But yeah, let's see what the Emacs Devel folks are saying on this. Let's see about AI. Yes, I agree. I used it lately to have my Emacs configuration reviewed, not rewritten. After 5 years, it was nice to get another pair of eyes on something that grew over the years. That's a good use case, of course. Yeah. Hey, Prot, I just wanted to say, have a good day, take care, and thank you, and you too. Let's see here. I haven't found a use for the word guessing machine yet. Professional software engineer. Yeah, sure. So it is that. The thing, though, is that I think the term we have like AI slop. I think we are attributing to the technology problems that really are the users. Like you see that with a lot of low effort contributions. It's like, hey, folks, I basically want the clicks. I won't put any work into it. And here is something which I didn't even review. I didn't even bother. And then we're like, oh, get out of here with the AI slop. But who is actually the one who is not putting in the effort? Like, if you put in the effort, I think ultimately what exactly generates the code will not matter in purely technical terms, like insofar as the code is concerned. To use your words, I shared the fun I had while writing my configuration with the AI, but I kept the fun of maintaining it. And yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Let's see. Well, it makes C-level happy if we use it. So the corporate overlords, I guess. So there is that. I started out our roundtable with the C-suite on the subject with the question. So why are we doing this? Are we seeking VC funding? Of course, people who are not into the technicalities will always want to jump on the latest hype train, right? I remember a few years ago where everybody was into blockchain. And it was like, okay, whatever thing we are doing, we are selling washing machines. How can we do this with blockchain or whatever? And it's like, okay, blockchain has its uses, but not everybody needs to be on blockchain. Let's see. I made mode specific phases overrides, not theme specific phases. Oh, okay, okay. Then it's right. Mode specific phases is the way to go, I think. It's like how it should be done. Like font lock, the generic font lock, should be used when you know your use case will not deviate from all the possible use cases of font lock. If your use case has potential to deviate from font lock proper, then you need to have basically something on top. So there is that. I know that technically the default Emacs theme is not a theme, but how does the default theme of Emacs support every package? It doesn't. So what it does is it defines core faces. So Emacs defines some faces, and then packages will either use those existing faces or define their own faces on top. So what happens is that you will have colors that, within the context of the Emacs standard faces, maybe are consistent with each other. But then you have others writing their own colors on top, so packages. And then you have, let's use like an example because I cannot think of a real use case. Let's imagine now that core Emacs defines define here as a subtle color. And then another package defines this thing here as an intense color. So what happens, because core Emacs is not using a theme, that theme does not account for this scenario. So you don't have basically a unifying level where the theme designer is like, you know what, you cannot just do this. You cannot have super subtle next to super intense for no good reason. Like there has to be some kind of harmony, and that's where you want the theme. So that's what it means to really support packages, because to just show colors is not really to support anything. You are just showing colors. Support means that you have actually checked them and you believe, or you know, or whatever, that they work well together, and they provide for an experience to the user that is sustainable. Fundamentally, the way I think of themes is as something that does not distract me. It empowers me to do what I want, but it otherwise gets out of the way. And this is how I try to design all my themes. And if they are not qualifying for that, then of course I am failing at what I'm doing. But the idea is avoid exaggerations. That's fundamentally what a theme should do. A theme that has exaggerations is basically in need of further development. Because if it has exaggerations, then it calls for my attention. I'm like, oh, look at that. Why does it stand out? Why is that sticking out like a sore thumb? I'm trying to code here and I have this thing which is inconsistent. So that's the idea. Let's see. Hi, Prot. Off topic. Just a thank you. So you're welcome. Because of you, I've ditched all my other software, NVim, Tmax, etc., and been using Emacs for a while now, fully converted and loving it with standard Emacs key bindings. So yeah, that's great. That's very nice. That's basically what I did back in the day, 2019. I was using Vim though, not the NeoVim. And I was using Vim, Tmax, Mutt, Newsboat, and Friends. And I was like, yeah, I need something else. And I went with Emacs because Emacs provides integration, whereas the others don't play that nice with each other. Like you implement something in Vim, you don't have it in Tmax. You have some styles in Vim, you don't have them in Mutt. You write it in one language in Vim, you have to figure out whatever is the other configuration language in the other apps. Basically, there is no consistency. Here, it's one platform, one programming language, and then you take it from there. So yeah, let's continue, folks. I was hoping when I started the stream to write a lot of tests. Eventually, what I did is make a lot of comments. Okay, let's continue. Let's see where we are. ERT, def test, MTT, this, and test that this does the right thing, but I'm looking at what is the right thing. So, okay, it returns nil. Let me see, how is this used? Do we return an error anywhere? No, it returns nil because, of course, we are here. So this is get all known themes. So, okay, that's fine. It should return nil. It shouldn't return an error. It should return nil. So let's see here, belongs to family P. So of course, that's with the family. Ideally, I would have tests for my other packages that are built on top of Modus. So for example, the F themes. But those, on the other hand, don't belong here. So, okay, I will have to think how best to organize that. So, for example, modus operandi belongs to the modus themes. So this should be true. And I will say should not. Let's do something else, like my fancy theme belongs to the modus themes, should not. That's correct. And basically, we are good like that. I could also do another test where it's modus operandi, and then let's do here my fancy themes like that, and this of course should also be nil. Okay, brilliant. So let's commit this. Right test for this. Good. Okay, let's continue. I think I saw the chat moving again. Let's see, what do we have? Psst, everyone stay silent. We want to see the tests. Yeah, exactly. Let's see what we can do, folks. Get all the known themes for a theme family. Okay, ERT, dev test. So let's have that here, and then test that this does the right thing. Look, I will eventually delete all these superfluous doc strings, and I will keep only those that are actually relevant. But for now, let's write it everywhere so I can then just use a keyboard macro and delete what I don't need. So should, and this, get all known themes. Of course, now I have to check that the modus themes are loaded, which of course is true because we require the modus themes. So this should return all of modus. So this should be equal to modus themes. Is it collection or items? Items. So modus themes items. This should be equal. Okay, great. So it should be equal. Can I give a specific family here? Actually, let's not do that. Should not. So should not, like here, my fancy themes. So my fancy themes is nil. Okay, that's a good. That's pretty straightforward. Eventually, of course, this is how other packages would do it that build on top of modus, such as my F themes or the standard themes. So I think this is okay. This is a good test. It doesn't need to do much more. Otherwise, it returns nil, and that's fine. Write a test for the thing. Okay, good. Let's continue. So background P, return on nil if theme has background mode property. Okay, so of course, let's see, ERT def test. So MTT the thing, and test that the thing does the right thing. I should have had already a keyboard macro for writing these doc strings, but it's fine. So should equal the background to background mode. So basically that returns T, right? So if I do this, so if I say modus operandi, and then background mode is, oh wait, return on nil if theme has background mode property. So the property, is it light? That's the idea? Yes, that's the idea. So that should return light. That should not be dark. Here, it should not be dark. Okay, good. It should not be this. Good. And it should not be light. Good. And it should not be my fancy theme. My fancy theme with light, that shouldn't work. And with dark, it shouldn't work either. Um, of course, actually, let's try with a real theme here. Adwaita, for example. Oh, that returns true. So actually, I don't care about those. Let's leave it. Let's leave it because also I don't do the check. This is only for if the theme has a background. That's fine. So let's commit this as well. Of course, I haven't actually tested the tests in a while. Let me run them. Okay, everything is good. So let's commit, write, test for the thing. That's good. And sort. Oh, okay. Um, do I really need to sort here? Reorder themes so that those with background mode come first. Background mode is either dark or light. I think the docstring here is not entirely right. Let me see. So it has a background. Okay, where is the background? So background mode. It's whatever we give them. Okay. So modus themes sort. Okay, that's good. Let's try it here. ERT def test. So MTT the thing. So and then test that this does the right thing. Okay, and then should equal sorry, this, the themes. So I will give it the modus themes light. No, modus light. Do we have modus themes? So let me see the items. Okay, I just have them as items. I don't have them separated. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's try this. So I will do here. Let's have it like here. So list. Oh no, let's not do list here because then I want to quote everything. Let's do this. Um, so we have that and sort these, and the background is light. Okay, and then what I want these to be is, of course, I will change the sorting now. 1 second. So I want to put these out of order. What will happen? Like that. What does this do? No, this sorts only by light. So if it's sorting only by light, I need to do the modus themes items. So if I sort by light, okay, let dark first. So it's the reverse of the modus themes items. So reverse of the modus themes items is dark first. So and then of course light first. Let's have it, even though it's not necessary, but let's have it. Light first. Okay, so actually have it like this. Okay, so we have that. So when we are sorting for light, the dark first, that should be equal to the light first. And yeah, I think this is correct. And that's like this. And then, of course, if we are sorting for dark, um, actually, I can do it both ways. If we are sorting for dark, then the dark are first. I think this is enough. Do we need more here? Let's see. ERT sort. Oh, what did I do wrong? Should equal light first equal. Wait. Oh, they are not. Of course, because it doesn't sort them A to Z also, or how I imagine them. It only sorts them light first, dark later. Ooh, this is a bit more tricky now because, um, okay. Actually, what we care about is that let's simplify here. So it's not equal. We don't do it like that. Let's do it like this. So let's put it like this. And here, let's put it like this. And we don't use this. So what we will do here, let first has prefix fn. Okay, so lambda of prefix, and then over the themes, prefix. So what I want to do is the car of themes. And of course, we could do a when let if we want to be fancy. So the first is the car of the themes. And then we want to say string, sorry, let's say here also name is the symbol name of the first because that is a symbol. So I want to do string match p, the prefix in the name. That is basically what I want to do. So then what we have here, let's actually review this. So this, given this, I want to do fun call. So fun call this over those should be, maybe it's easier if I have it here, actually here. So this over those should be, because I search by light, modus operandi. So that's the one test, and basically modus vivendi is the other test. Okay, that's nice. So let's have dark here, and actually we can have like this. Let me see. So, okay, that's nice. Let's see. Did I do the right thing? Of course, that's what I want to test for. Yes. Okay, that's good. How are we doing with the chat, folks? A keyboard macro or a test specific macro like modus, def test, func. Yeah, that's the other thing. um, Probably I should do that actually. The thing is though that um, now that you mention it, I should do that, right? So if I give you a doc string, use it. If I don't give you a doc string, just have that generic thing. Very smart. Let's actually do it. Let's actually do it so that we write a macro as well. But let me see, what do we have here? Another comment. I would love to see how you develop a theme, the colors, etc. Perhaps a topic for another live stream. Sure, I did do a live stream at some point where I was doing something with the Doric themes. So maybe you can get an idea there. But basically, I have a very good sense of color combinations, right? So I have worked a lot with colors, so I kind of have an intuition for what color combines with what. And also, I can provide fairly accurate color values. I'm not saying that I am a machine, but it's pretty good. So what I normally do is I just have this idea in my head of, okay, these are the possible combinations, and then I apply those, and then I refine it through trial and error. So basically that's the idea. And then I will also write contrast tables. Maybe I can show you here, for example, with let's do the Doric themes here. So if you see here, I will write the contrast tables where we have the colors, and basically you do a test. So the table will be expanded to add all the colors, so I can get a sense of the contrast ratio between two colors on the table. That's the idea. So that's the final step towards refining those. But really, it's mostly in my head, and then I refine it from there. So let's do that macro because I like it. And I keep writing this, test that the thing does the thing, which is superfluous. So let's do the thing of the thing. I keep saying thing the whole time today. So let's do a def macro. So MTT define test for the function, for the symbol, I guess. And then with an optional doc string. Right. Of course, it should be the test as well. Symbol with, of course, wait. The rest is the body. The rest is the test. So actually, the docstring cannot be optional. And then is the test body, I guess. So let me see. Write test for symbol with docstring that runs body. If docstring is nil, use a generic snippet of text. Like that, okay. And now let's do the thing. ERT, def test. def test. So we want to use intern here, intern, which, wait, it has to be like this, which should be format, and it should be mtt, and then like that, which is the symbol. Let me think. So format the symbol over that. Yeah, this is fine with this. And then we will do here. If docstring, then of course it can be an or docstring. And otherwise, format test that the symbol does the right thing. Okay. And then the symbol. That's beautiful. And then body, right? Do I need something else? I think I wrote it, folks. Of course, I don't want to celebrate yet. Let's actually put it to the test. So, okay, of course, some of them have a big body, long body, however you want to call it. Let's come here to the scratch. Let's come here. Let's get rid of all this. Okay, so we have this, and let's go to a small test because these are massive. So, okay, I like this. So I want to test this formula. So I will do it like that. I will give it the nil docstring and then the thing here. What happened? Why is it not defined? Ah, of course. So it's modus themes test define test like this. And let's see if I did it right, folks. So, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. You see here, so I wrote it, it's here, it's there in one go. Of course, I don't want to celebrate yet because I also want to check with the docstring. Do the right thing like that. And now let's macro expand. Beautiful. So you did derail the stream, but not by much. So don't worry. But this is actually smart. This is a good idea. So of course now I have to implement that everywhere. Let's see. I could use a keyboard macro here, but I want to be a bit careful what I'm doing. So of course I will use a keyboard macro. So keyboard macro. So, oh, wait. So I want to capture this as register. So let's come here, folks. Let's do, up, sorry. Let's do a keyboard macro. It starts from here. I can go to the beginning. I can come here, mark it, insert the thing, come here, just delete, and then nil, and then that. I want to do one small tweak to the macro, and then go to the end, and then there. Okay. I want to do one small tweak to the macro, which is here, declare indent 0, and that should be good. Let's see. No, there is some other way to do it. Maybe defun. Okay, that's better. I like it like that. Yes. So I really like it. Let's see. What do we have here? Prod, sending love your way, bro. Thank you very much. And I am responding in kind. Let's see. The docstring can be optional if car body is a string. It should be used as docstring. Otherwise, you fall back. Yeah, that would be the other way. Yes. Checking car body is fine in this case as a string, as first value in body will never be a test. Actually, that's better. Yes. That's better. And yes, this should be like this. Let's do it. I like the idea, so let's do it. But the point is that what I wrote also works, but I like your approach better. That runs body. If the car of body, let's see here. If the car of body is a string, use it as the doc string of the test, else write a generic docstring. Okay, so I like the idea of the car of body, and I like the idea of having a string p there. So then we need to change this and that. And so here it's the CUDA, right? So it would be like that, but let me confirm. So if I come here, debug this, so ert def test nil with nil. Oh no, that's not right. Wait. Why? What did I do wrong? Of course, that's not what we want. We want a when here. So that's good. Let's delete this and let's come here. Um, I don't like to see the extra nil though, so it should be this. I'm thinking if this is correct. Let's see. I should have like a smaller one. I don't like to always go up and down that whole buffer. Let's go to the smaller one here. This. So this. Oh, sorry. What did I do wrong? Of course. Sorry. It's the car of. So when actually this is it. Okay, sorry. I'm sloppy now. So if this is a string, then just use the car of body. Okay, just use it as is. That's the idea. So, oh, no, because of course I am macro expanding like that. I want to get rid of that nil, so let me see what I am doing here. So, okay, that's fine, that's correct. And if this is nil, let's see. If this is nil, that's, yes, that's good. Let me confirm again. So, yeah, okay, we are good. So, yeah, this is good. Of course, I should have a test for this macro as well. Let's see, where are we? It could be the full body, actually. You're right. It could be the full body and me not worry about it. But this expresses intent because here it's like I had in my head that the first element of body is actually the string. And then I want to use the CUDA of body. Of course, now you run into cases. Actually, you know what? I will revert to what I was doing earlier. And because here you run now into cases where I will write the dog string at the end or whatever. And it's now less precise looking at the code what my intent is. So, whereas looking at the parameters in particular, whereas what I did earlier, which I will fix, it had one small issue. Here, what I did earlier, let's actually keep editing here. Where are we? Docstring. Okay, like that. I think this is the right thing. So it should be if docstring like this. So here I express intent. At least in my head, this is more clear because now it says that I expect you to give me a docstring or nil. So the docstring has to be positionally at the same place, and I don't have to infer that, oh, it's the car or whatever. And more importantly, I don't have to depend on functionality that might change in the future. Because if ERT dev test ever changes, I don't want the first element, which could have been a string, to now mean something different in the future. I don't know if I am correct on this, but in my head, this makes more sense. And maybe it's also simpler in terms of code. Like I just say, okay, use the body, and I don't think in terms of the CUDA or the car or whatever. What you're suggesting, of course, just use the body would also work. Like ERT dev test the body basically, and then you rely on ERT dev test having the fact that it will ignore the docstring. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so let's continue. Of course, this is good, and thank you for putting this idea forward. Did I write the macro earlier? I think I did, the keyboard macro. Um, so somebody says here, wow, I'm speechless at how you navigate Emacs. I started learning Emacs 3 days ago, and I only finished reading the tutorial yesterday. but I don't realize how fast you could navigate in it. And I will say that I'm probably slow. Of course, also keep in mind that I am talking as well the whole time. So I'm not 100% concentrated on this. So I can be faster as well. Like I notice many times that I move line wise in the stream, but in reality, I will do something like a search or I will go down screenfuls or whatever. So yeah, but generally you learn. Of course, you are a newcomer, you are a beginner, so it's natural that you are relatively slow. I was very slow in the beginning. I was really clumsy. It was really awkward. But eventually, you get better as you go. How it is. Let's see. But I don't know how that is implemented, especially for the LDoc addition. I don't follow you with regard to the reference to LDoc, so maybe you can elaborate. Do you like working on Emacs while streaming? Yeah, I do. It's very fun. um, so, what I also like, actually, just to say this, of course, me, all the videos I do them in one go. So even though they are recorded, in a sense, I am always streaming. I don't do other videos. So for me, doing a live stream with a video is not much different than how I would do another video. The only exception is if I have to present something that has to have text, like I did for that Oxford presentation, because they needed to have text for accessibility purposes and also for people to be able to read it later and all that. So there, I wrote the text in the morning and I presented it in the evening. That's the idea. But writing it was still in one go. So me, I generally like the idea of streaming. So there is that. Oh, I realized that we may have removed iMenu integration. Does dev test has iMenu integration? Good point, but I don't use iMenu. So what I do use is this. So if I am searching for hex, for example, you see, it will still work. But for the sake of the test, let's do iMenu. And if I do hex, of course, now maybe it works, but I'm not sure. We will see. We will see. Maybe I could kill this buffer and open it again, and we will see. But me personally, I don't use iMenu, like plain iMenu. I don't use it. So here I want the doc string. So already this is a scenario that I want to keep. So let's have a generic doc string here. And then let's do it like this. And now like that. So will this expand to the right thing? Okay, that's good. So that expands to the right thing. Okay, now we are in this scenario where all my tests actually have doc strings that are meaningful. So let's have it like that. Um, Okay, this is looking fine, folks. And this can go. And what about this? Um, Maybe we don't even need those doc strings, but that's another thing. Let's come here and have it there. And this, and this, and this, and this. What is this? And this. Um, Wait 1 second. Yes, okay. Here we want to keep the doc string. Um, so I want to have it like this. This is a test that Rudolf Adamkovich wrote, also known as Rudy. So maybe I will edit it for style, but for now it's good. So we have that, and here we can have this, and here we can have this. Okay, beautiful. Let's actually make sure that everything is indented. So the moment of truth, let's do ERT. I think it would work, right? Um, okay, it works as intended. I will have to restart Emacs and test again, but I think it will work as intended. Here, why did I have an empty line? So let's actually remove that. Did I define? Oh, okay. Wait, I defined the test here and then I did the macro. I should have committed and then do the macro. But anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's actually go to Magit here. So let's have that. Did I define a test eventually? I'm not sure anymore. Where is it? Ah, it's here. Okay, so let's avoid this for now. Okay, so write write macro to um, express tests how I want them. Okay, that's good. And write test for modus themes sort. Okay, that's beautiful. So how are we doing? Let's go and check again modus themes um, here, like that. Oh, did I kill this buffer earlier? So we were at the point of sort. Okay, so there is that, and then we want to get themes. Okay, okay. So this is actually one of the few cases where I'm using the def generic and the def method. It's a good functionality. Let's come here, but you don't need it in a lot of places. Actually here, maybe it's too long. No, it's not. Let's have it like that because otherwise it looks like a massive test when it's actually a really small one. So actually, does this work here? Okay. So oh, let's actually do here with VC. So make stylistic change to the test for the test of. Okay. Okay. So let's come here. We mean business. So MTT define test for this. And do we want something else? Nil. Um, of course, this nil, yeah, maybe in the future I can think of something better, but for now it's fine. It looks okay. So let's see. Should this get themes basically should return modus themes items in this case. But I have to be a bit more careful. 1 second. Equal. I have to be a bit more careful because, oh, wait. It is modus themes items, but maybe not in the same order. Yes, okay, okay. So seek intersection, right? Intersection. Is this correct? No, it's not correct. Is it? Is it seek intersection? I don't remember. Return copy of sequence 1 with elements that do not appear in sequence 2 removed. No, I want to test that the two sets are equal. Of course, I could do a do list of a do list, but there has to be a way to do that. But okay, let me answer the comments first, and then I will get back to this. I will think about it again. With regard to LDoc, oh wait, I'm missing something. Oh, what is this? There are more comments. Where is it? I was here, and then we did the I menu. Okay. I too just seriously started with Emacs after years of procrastinating. Let's see if I can get as fast as I am in Vim. Um, if you are fast with Vim, I see no reason why you cannot be fast with this because muscle memory at some point just adapts and you are fast. Protesilaos has the best Emacs content on YouTube. So thank you. Yeah, thank you. There are a lot of good videos, of course. So let's see. LDoc. That is together with the previous message about the fun like semantics for docstring. Ah, yeah, okay, yeah. Like I would have loved for us to arrive at LDoc. Ah, yeah. So I see what you mean. Do we have that? So we have it there, you see, in the LDoc at the bottom. Um, but I see what you mean. For it to be inside of brackets. Um, what I would have liked, maybe I could do it with what's it called? The CL macro, CL def macro, whatever it's called. I haven't actually used it, but I think you can have optional after rest or something like that. Basically, what I would like is symbol body and optionally docstring. For me, this would be the best because then you can just omit it and you don't have to write nil. But I don't think we can do rest body and then optional. I don't think we can do that, which is a pity. uh, which is of course understandable because how would you know when you reached the optional if rest is of course all the rest. But maybe with CLDef macro you can have keywords and stuff. I haven't played around with that actually. Let's see. Right now, I am a Vim user, but I was so interested to learn more about Emacs and also want to try out the famous org mode. And so far, my journey in Emacs was great. Also, I really like modus operandi. Very well. There are a lot of things to explore in the Emacs world, and it will take a while for you to actually appreciate the depth that they provide. Like org on its own is massive uh, in terms of feature set. Like you can do so many things with it, and you will be using it, and maybe after a couple of years, you will still be like, "Oh, I learned this new thing. That's amazing." And that's just org. So of course there is a lot to cover. But for me, the point also is the following: it helps if you have concrete use cases. Like, for example, you want to use org for your agenda, let's say, because then it helps you think about what you want to discover. Like, you have the questions, and that will help you figure out the answers and discover the relevant functionality. So let's see. Take slow steps and don't be afraid to try out weird, in quotes, things. I edit text in Emacs buffers, but I commit using git commands in the terminal since I don't know how to use Magit yet. And that's perfectly fine, of course, and it's a good piece of advice to do things in a stepwise fashion because that consolidates your learning. Like if you try to cover too much ground too quickly, you don't retain that knowledge. Is there still a helper somewhere that exports modus themes into terminal color schemes? At some point, I had written a function, but I didn't maintain it, so I don't know. I don't have it, but I don't know. Of course, that said, by the way, let me just close this here in case I forget. You can do modus themes list colors. Of course, it's not the most elegant, but in lieu of a package that just does this. Modus themes list colors, you pick the theme you want, and this applies also to all the derivative modus themes, like the F themes, for example, right? Modus themes list colors, you pick the theme, and what it will do is it will list all the colors, and from here, what you really want for a terminal is bg main bg dim, fg main fg dim, and then two red colors, whichever you want, two green, two yellow, and so on. And basically, that gives you the terminal colors. But yeah, maybe I should have a function eventually that does that. And let's see. What else do we have? And by the way, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, so maybe I should also close the stream. I have a meeting at 6. Yeah, maybe I will need to take the dogs for a walk as well. They are still sleeping. It's amazing. That's good. That's good. It goes to show that the temperatures are rising. Let's see here. I remember that was a thing a while ago. Yes, I had a function for that. And it's, of course, not too difficult to define something. You can do it a different way, actually, if you want to do it on your end. Now that I think about it here, on the topic of macros, right? So, modus themes with colors. And you can do here, for example, BG main, and then I will do red, yellow, green, blue. Of course, you don't have to use blue. You could use blue cooler or whatever. Magenta, cyan, and FG dim, and then BG dim, and then red. I will use warmer, red warmer, yellow warmer. Let's see how have here green cooler, blue warmer, magenta cooler, cyan cooler, and then FG main. Actually, the FG main here is not right, but it's if your theme actually, one second, let me actually do it a little bit different. So this should be assuming you want to have like the correct. Okay, so let's have it like this. 50, 50, 50. And here it should be, um, let's see, like that. And here you can have like this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So these should be 16 colors. Oh, these should be 16 colors for your terminal, like this, and I can actually preview them. So maybe I can, let me actually make it a little bit smaller so that we can see. Let me make the font a little bit smaller. Let's do, is it large? Uh, can we fit it all in? No, we cannot. Okay, let me do regular and you will get it. So let's come here. Actually, I have it here. One second. Let's come to the gray there. And yeah, this is your color scheme. Like, okay, you get the idea, right? So you could do something like that eventually. So a combination of those two, and you get a color scheme like this. Of course, then you have to map it to whatever your terminal is using as a configuration language, but that's already a good start. So let's see, what do we have in the comments? Actually, folks, you know what? I will not write this final test because this one I have to do a do list inside of a do list because I think intersection is not right. And I don't want to do this now because I want to answer the comments. And maybe 5 o'clock at the latest I can leave, depending on how many comments there are. Otherwise, as soon as I answer the comments, then I leave. So I will wake up the dogs and we will go for a walk and then I will come back for the meeting. So do I have anything else here? No, very good. So actually, let's push. Let's push everything. So, okay, that was good. Okay, very good. Let's see now what do we have for the comments. Um, I had better head to bed. Good GMT evening, everybody. Have fun theming. It has been fun. Thank you very much for all your comments, and yeah, have a good sleep. About LDoc, the MTT macro, maybe I'll check that later and send you a patch. Please do, please do. Um, I definitely like what you suggested with the body, uh, the car of body and all that. Um, but if we can make it more precise in terms of intent, I like the code even more because then, even if the implementation is wrong, I kind of know what I wanted, especially if you combine the parameters with the doc string. But yeah, patches are always welcome. Let's see, where are we? Where are we? I lost it here. Is your config publicly shared? Asks about for Ashraz there. If so, I'd be interested in stalking it. So yeah, it's associated with my real name, and I don't want to dox myself at the moment. Feel free to send me a message on the System Crafters forums, and I'll send you a link. Okay, so that's pretty good. Yeah, that's what I've used until now. Maybe I'll try to write something to automate it. Terminal scheme generation. Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. You need the separate camera for the dogs. So where are the dogs? So one is here, one is there, and the others are outside my field of view. I don't see them. Normally, they are all four of them here. So I have a couch specifically for the dogs. So it's amazing. Let's see. What do we have? Chic, etc. Prot has a great video on YouTube on how to use Magit. So yeah, actually, I don't remember when was that. Maybe 4 years ago or something. So yeah. Of course, now just to say on the previous comment, I just realized that you have a cat emoji there, which triggers me, let alone the dogs. Let's see what we have. So my dogs are really animal aggressive, like they don't like cats. um, so great, that's really useful. Thanks, Prot. You're welcome. Prot, why did you not implement overrides in the Doric themes? So the idea with the Doric themes is that one, they are minimalist aesthetically, but two, maybe that's a question mark. they should also be minimalist in terms of the options they provide, namely none. They don't provide options. So it's basically like this is how the designer thinks is the right thing, take it or leave it. Uh, I don't know if I want to commit to that though long term, because maybe long term it makes sense to gradually open up and have more options. But I want to be careful because once you introduce an option, basically you are committed to it. Like you cannot take it back. And I want to be a bit more conservative with this approach because maybe depending on how the project develops, it's too early to do it right now. With something like the modus themes, because they have a lot of colors, it makes more sense to provide options and overrides because there are so many colors that somebody may not like one specific color. And then, of course, it's like, well, I want the theme, but for one color, I could just switch to another theme. Whereas with the Doric themes, you have like three colors maximum. So if you already don't like one or two of the colors, chances are the theme doesn't work for you anyhow. So it's less likely that fixing that one color will make a difference because the way the colors are also in the Doric themes are like gradients, and there is intensity on purpose, like or sorry, intensity in terms of difference of hue. So two different hues side by side, really different colors side by side, is done on purpose, and it's very unlikely that fixing that will help things. Like if you, for example, make comments gray instead of red, let's say, then gray will also be the dog strings. So you won't be able to easily tell apart the comments from dog strings, that sort of thing. So it's a more tricky case. I suggest having a common theme framework and then theme classes separately. So already the modus themes are a framework in this regard. If I can further abstract it away, that's great. I like what you mentioned now with classes. I'm not quite sure how this would be implemented concretely right now. Like what is a class in this case? But if you have ideas, then of course I am all ears. I would like to know more. Eventually, reaching a point where all the themes are derived from one framework, I think that's a good thing, and also of what I'm doing here. That's why, of course, it needs to be tested and be tested thoroughly. Like the more people depend on it, the more important, the higher the need for having tests for everything. So yeah, there is that. I will give 2 more minutes to the chat, and then we can call it a day, folks. And I will have to wake up the dogs, and we will go for a walk. Actually, they know English, they know Greek, and they also can understand the cues. Like if I say, for example, now the word we say when we are waving our hand and are leaving, I won't say the word. They already know that something is up. Or if I say the word in Greek for going on a walk, they will get up and they will start barking, that sort of thing. So a class would be e.g. Doric and EF. Uh, that's not sufficiently abstract because then I have to think in terms of, oh, there exists a collection of themes that are the Doric themes or the F themes. I think what we would need is something more abstract, which is like, I don't know now, I would have to think, but let's say four colors or 10 colors or all the colors. That would be the sort of thing. But we also have to see, okay, how do you implement that concretely? It's not a question, but have a good day. And somebody else says, have a good day, Prot. So thank you. Let me tell the dogs that we are going for a walk. Let's see if they will wake up right away. Άντε να πάμε βόλτα. Να πάμε βόλτα, ρε. Να πάμε βόλτα, ρε. Άντε, πάμε βόλτα, άντε. Να πάμε βόλτα, άντε, να πάμε. So they are now getting up, and already another one is here, and they are already wagging their tails. Na πάμε βόλτα, ρε. Να πάμε βόλτα. So yeah, folks, let's call it a day then, and I will talk to you next time whenever that is. Uh, So of course they are up. Maybe you can hear them barking. So